The scene opens on a school playground where we're introduced to Brian, a man who coaches lacrosse at his stepson Lucas's school. From the beginning, it's clear that Lucas isn't very athletic, and we even see him making mistakes that cost the team points. Still, Brian holds on to lacrosse as the one activity they can share, since the two don't have many interests in common. Emily, Brian's wife, gently suggests finding a different way for him to connect with Lucas, something Lucas actually enjoys. She mentions that Lucas is more interested in theater, while Brian is very much a sports-focused person. Things get more complicated when Brian gets into a disagreement at work with the owner's son and is fired, leaving the family without his income. Emily decides to take an open position at the hospital, so at least one of them is working, which means Brian will stay home with Lucas. She also hopes this gives him more time to support Lucas, who has been dealing with some bullying at school because he doesn't fit in with the sports-oriented environment. During Brian's first day at home with Lucas, he takes him to the park, hoping Lucas will make some friends. Instead, Lucas quietly wanders off to do his own thing in the back area. While waiting, Brian meets a group of moms who call themselves the Mama Mafia. They immediately try to recruit him into their circle, but their intensity overwhelms him, and he ends up walking away. Later, while Brian and Lucas are playing catch together, they meet Jeff Eamon, a charismatic, extremely athletic stay-at-home dad who's new to the neighborhood, and his unusually strong, emotionally distant son, CJ. Hoping to help Lucas make friends, Brian agrees to set up a playdate with them. At their home, Brian learns that Jeff previously served in the Special Forces, Delta Force, and is taking time off to focus on raising CJ, whose mother has passed away. Jeff even has a father-son to-do list of activities he wants them to complete together. During their conversation, Lucas suddenly comes in and says he saw a man watching the house. Jeff reacts quickly and insists they all head to Buck E. Cheese, an indoor playground, which raises even more questions about what's going on. Inside Buck E. Cheese, Jeff notices a suspicious man lingering in the back and quietly follows him. The two end up in a tense confrontation, while Brian remains completely unaware of what's happening. Back at the table, Brian tries to talk with CJ, who seems strangely fascinated by the pizza. In the middle of the conversation, CJ casually mentions that Jeff isn't actually his dad. Concerned by both CJ's comment and Jeff's odd behavior earlier, Brian decides he should leave with both kids. However, when he tries to exit, an employee stops him, explaining that their wristbands don't match, which means Brian isn't authorized to take the children. As Brian argues with the attendant, Jeff suddenly returns, urgently pushing them toward the exit. He rushes the kids into the car and tells Brian they're in danger and need to leave immediately. Brian hesitates, but once several armed men appear outside, scaring everyone and causing chaos, he realizes Jeff is telling the truth. Jeff explains that because Brian was with him during the incident, the pursuers now assume he's involved too, meaning he and Lucas are also at risk. Welcome back to Sandy's Timeline. Today we're covering the 2025 action thriller comedy, The Playdate. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe for recaps like this. An afternoon that was supposed to be fun spirals into chaos when a group of armed mercenaries begins pursuing them on the freeway. During the escape, Brian realizes things have gotten even worse. Because he tried to leave Buck E. Cheese with the kids without the matching wristbands, an Amber Alert has been issued with him listed as a kidnapper. That means they can't even turn to the police for help. Still confused about why they're being chased, Brian demands answers. Jeff finally explains that after leaving Delta Force, he took a job as a security guard at a top-secret facility. He didn't know who owned the building or what he was actually protecting. His instructions were simply to patrol the grounds and take random drug tests. He even jokes that he has no idea how he ever passed them. One night, during his shift, he noticed a delivery left outside. When he brought it in, he discovered CJ locked inside. Believing he had found a kidnapped child, Jeff broke him out immediately. Since then, the two of them have been on the run, with the facility sending people after them to get CJ back. Using Brian's phone, the pursuers managed to track them through a GPS button Lucas has been carrying in his pocket. This forces Jeff to steal a car, leading to yet another relentless chase. The group eventually escapes and takes shelter at the home of Jeff's estranged father, Gordon. While there, Gordon shows them an old photo album with pictures of Jeff as a child, and everyone realizes that CJ looks identical to Jeff at that age. Jeff asks his father for help, but Gordon refuses, bringing Jeff's unresolved feelings about being abandoned back to the surface. With no other leads, Jeff remembers the only employee he ever interacted with at the facility is a man named Galifianakis, whose dating profile Jeff once helped set up. To track him down, Brian and Jeff create a fake dating account to lure him in. Their plan works, and they arrange to meet him at a motel. At the motel, while questioning him about the facility, they uncover a shocking truth. CJ is actually short for Clone Jeff, the first successful clone created from Jeff's DNA. The project was led by eccentric billionaire scientist Simon Maddox, along with Colonel Kurtz, Jeff's former commander. Kurtz believed Jeff was the ideal soldier, skilled, resilient, and disciplined, but held back by empathy, something Jeff had shown during a past mission where he refused to harm an innocent child being used against their will. The facility secretly collected Jeff's DNA during his routine drug tests, using it to develop emotionless super soldiers who wouldn't struggle with trauma or moral conflict. Their goal was to reshape warfare by replacing ordinary soldiers with cloned fighters. Brian later gets a call from Emily, but when he answers, he realizes it's actually Maddox's henchman using her phone. They threaten Emily and pressure Brian into betraying the group by luring Jeff into a trap so they can recapture CJ. Though shaken and guilty, Brian ultimately refuses to abandon them and instead helps Jeff launch a rescue mission. Using a GPS signal from Lucas's phone, which Lucas cleverly hid in CJ's jacket, they track them to a second secret facility filled with unstable CJ clones. As they fight their way through, Maddox tries to force CJ to prove his perfect soldier programming by ordering him to attack Jeff with a crossbow. Instead, CJ chooses Jeff and the others, turning on Maddox and proving that even a clone can grow compassion when given real connections. In the final showdown, Brian creates a diversion by crashing a car, giving Jeff the opening he needs to confront Colonel Kurtz. Jeff then sets off explosives he had hidden earlier, destroying the facility and shutting down the cloning operation, at least for now. The four of them, Jeff, CJ, Brian, and Lucas, walk away together. Lucas tells Brian he's the best dad, solidifying the bond they've been building all along. In a mid-credits scene, teasing a possible sequel, Jeff and CJ show up at Brian's house at 2 in the morning for a sleepover, explaining that their home was burned down by a new group of pursuers, hinting that Maddox and Kurtz's larger cloning network is still out there. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell me which movie or show you want covered next. Thanks for watching Sandy's Timeline, where the story never ends and the breakdowns keep rolling. See you in the next one.